Portia Featherington sees so much of herself in Penelope, and I think that could be why she is so reluctant for Penelope to take a husband. And by this, I don't mean that she's going to stop Penelope getting married if she does find a husband by herself. I mean that she doesn't actively help Penelope find a husband, but she does help her other daughters, and she does encourage her other daughters to get married. And once they are married, she thinks the family's done. She kind of expects no one else to get married. And I also think that Portia is lonely, and she doesn't want to be beholden to a man anymore, but she also doesn't want to be alone, so she wants Penelope near her. Portia is not a good mother. She is dismissive of Penelope and demeans her, and for the large part ignores her, but I do think that she is aware of just how intelligent her daughter is. And I wonder if Portia hopes that Penelope learned earlier on what it took her seemingly years to learn, that being tied to a man inhibits you as a person more than it encourages you, because that is what Portia truly believes. And although we didn't see much of Lord Featherington before he passed away, we knew enough. We saw that he never saw his marriage as a team. We saw that Portia knew she was the more intelligent person in the marriage, but had zero power, because although Lord Featherington was not smart, he was emotionally cruel, and he did control Portia in a way that made her feel incredibly trapped. But you'll notice that the marriages that Portia's daughters have made are to men who are seemingly stupider than they are, but also incredibly kind, and in that way incredibly malleable. All Portia has seemingly ever craved is power over her own life, but she is also incredibly aware of society, and so it's not an accident, I don't think, that her daughters have married people who still allow them to maintain power and maintain control over their actual lives and marriage. But Portia also has a third daughter, someone who is incredibly intelligent, someone who has seemingly never desired to have a man by their side, and someone who craves power in the way that her mother does. Portia Featherington has spent the majority of her life neglected by her husband and carving out a semblance of happiness for herself within her daughters and within her family. And I'm not saying that Lord Debling would have been the same for Penelope, but she would have been miserable, because like her mother, they are both incredibly independent people who crave control over their own life and their own power in their own life, but they are also both incredibly lonely. They both crave a partner in crime of sorts, and I don't think that Lord Debling would have been anywhere near as emotionally abusive as Lord Featherington was, but he also wouldn't have been there. And the one thing that Penelope has always craved more than anything is to be heard, to be seen, and to be listened to and understood. And if Lord Debling is away and Penelope only has the wolves to listen to her, that won't help. She will be miserable. And though she may not be able to fully understand her mother right now, she very soon would, in a way that is all too familiar. But I think that Portia sees Penelope and doesn't want to, because Penelope is a way for Portia to do her life again better and correctly, but also a reminder of everything that Portia shouldn't be and everything that Penelope shouldn't be. And I truly believe that had Portia Featherington found out before anyone else that Penelope was Lady Whistledown, she would have tried to take over. She probably would have let Penelope write the society papers, but she would have been running the whole operation because she craves the same power. And I also think that if she found out, she might have actively discouraged Penelope from finding a husband, because intelligence in a woman will not serve her if she has a husband. Because as she says in the trailer, a wife's duty is to serve her husband's dreams. The moment you are tied to a man, your dreams become his. And the conversation she's having with Penelope in part 2, she did not have that with her previous daughters. I can guarantee you that. Because only Penelope needs to heed the warnings of Portia's past mistakes. Because only Penelope has the potential to become a true mirror of who Portia is now.